Hi guys, so I thought my first video of the year would be a review on my predictions in 2015 about which horses would retire this year. I'd like to thank you all for the comments, as I think we were all thinking along the same lines in the end, with a lot of similar models. So this is just my sort of closure on the 2015 Schleich world, in my view, and welcoming in the 2016 year, and just sort of clearing out the old models in a very odd way. So I've lined them all up. I've actually been privileged enough to own all of them, apart from the Icelandic foal. So that means in future years I probably won't have all the ones that are retiring. To be honest, I really did not think Schleich would retire this much off this year, because in the past few years they have gained so many new models and they've brought out a lot of new horses, and I thought there wouldn't be this much change. Anyway, I will show you the vast quantities of horses, and I will go through them. Right, so the back line, as you can see, is the line that I picked out that would retire, and all but two of these actually did. So my guesses were, how many? I think there's 9, yeah, the 9. Right, so out of my 9, the Andalusian foal has not retired, and the Hanoverian stallion has not retired, which I'm really happy about, as a lot of these models were some of my first ones. And no, Henry over here is still going strong, which I really like. I think Schleich just got him totally right. He is lovely. If you don't have him, buy him, but I'm sure everyone else has him, because he's been around for about, I think it's 2008 he came out? 2009. So 7th year. Anyway, so I think he's Schleich's oldest horse now. Anyway, so I'll just go through them one by one, very, very briefly, as I don't want to bore you guys. Just about how I really feel, and then I'll get on to sort of these guys and the sort of whatever happened here. Right, so the Icelandic stallion, it is an awkward mould, so I can see why they did that. To be honest, I thought they'd just bring out a fresher model, and with the mare, even though the mare was the old Icelandic mare, so the retired one, I found she was fine. I really liked her. So when she retired her, I was sort of wondered why they only retired her off and not those guys. But then they brought the new mare out, and I thought, all right. But now they've just retired the stallion and foal, which I do not have, and just kept the mare. So I'm not sure if next year they'll sort of bring out a better stallion and foal, as to say. But yeah, so I thought it was a bit backward how they retired these off, but that's him. Mark. Anyway, now on to Dominic. I can completely see why they retired him off, as that is an even more awkward mould, to be honest. Yeah, the new ones, I've looked at the new ones, they are all lovely, to be honest. I don't think there's any I don't like. I think they've done the Clydesdales really well, and you know how much I love these guys. So that's something. Anyway, so I can completely see why they retired him off, if not sooner. No offence to him, but it was a bit of an odd mould to collect, even though they did bring out multiple specials with that horse, and it's lovely. But anyway, so that's Dominic. Now on to Cassie, the Pinto yearling. I was actually a bit shocked. I can completely see why they're retiring off the yearlings, but I thought it was quite a nice style of horse to have. But now they've all sort of gone, which I completely see why. But I was a bit shocked how they redid the Mare Stallion and then didn't retire her off at the same time, and then have bought it back, so I can completely see why she's gone. But again, it's a bit of a weird order they've done it. Anyway, so that's her. Emily, she's fine. She's staying with the new mare, so that'll be another weird storyline to add into my barn episodes. Anyway, now on to Tim and Toby, the Clydesdale, gelding and foal. I think they do look like sort of like the newer horses, because they sort of have, when they were sort of new, they had a very sort of, not cartoony, but very sort of friendly spirit about both of them. And that's sort of what Schleich are going down the lines now. So, but to be honest, if it's their time to go, it's their time to go. But I do really like both these molds. I think they're both just really nice. Anyway, on to Quinn, my Andalusian mare. Yeah, she's now gone. She was one of my first, along with Emily and Henry. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what to think, because of course they retired the Andalusian stallion off, which is an awkward mould. But Quinn is fine, and if anything, Emily sort of would need a bit of, she's fine too, but sort of updating, they're sort of going down this route of just updating one horse at a time, and if you do a series like me, it's a bit awkward to be like, oh yeah, this mare gave birth to this foal, but then this mare retired, so this mare's going to come in and look after this foal because it is still a foal and will be for the next 7 years or something. You know, it's I'm not saying Schleich should do it around people who do episodes, because I know I'd say I'm more of just a collector now, but that is an issue. Anyway, Henry, he's fine, he's staying, he's good. Phoebe, similar to Cassie, I can see why they've done it, but yeah, again, they redid the stallion, and have now brought back the foals and everything, which is alright, I suppose. Yeah, it'll be nice to see how it turns out. Anyway, so they were my predictions, and I thought, that's quite a decent amount of horses to retire. So I was merrily going through the lists, sort of on the Schleich website, sort of like writing down the ones I can blatantly see had gone or been changed or swapped. Anyway, and then I was just like, I'll just go onto a website to see the full list of the retired models, like all of them. Totally did not realise they'd retired off just whole families gone. I think because I've been these past few weeks have been really chaotic. I don't think I really took into account, now let's scan for actual families that have gone. It sort of didn't enter my mind. But I would now just like to show you the other aftermath. I'm sure you've all looked at these, the ones that have gone. But yeah, I totally didn't realise all the fells had gone. He was never on the website in the first place. The Halflingers have gone. Camargues have gone. Frasians have just swapped. And the Shire for no apparent reason. So I'll just go through them again. So yeah, the fells. A lot of these guys I got at the same time. These guys I got at the same time, in the same order, in the same box. And I think it was the Christmas 2013 or 2014, I'm not sure, I'm sorry. I'm going with 2013, yeah. And I really appreciated all of them. I got about 15, which is a huge amount, and I really appreciated them. So it was a bit of a shock to see that they'd all, none of these have gone, sorry, counting. No, 8, sorry. Counting skills. Anyway, so yeah. So the fails, they're new. These are all pretty new. I sort of thought they did fit in with all the plaiting and the fancy moulds and everything. So I think maybe just because they're small and not as easy to work with for the riders, and the more commercial markets are going down now. So I can sort of see why they've retired off Lima, Fionn and Dylan. That's what I call them. These are just my names, they're not the names of the horses. Anyway, then Toby, I do have 2 Tobys. Yeah, I really liked him. A lot of people either really liked him or really didn't like him. I just thought he was a nice mould, a nice basic riding horse that you could put into the barn and everything. But I thought he'd be going on a bit longer, to be honest, because he's just an easy mould for Schleich to just sort of keep doing. And easy to put tack on and everything. Anyway, now these two, yeah. So they retired the newer foal first. They retired the mare and stallion first, and then the newer foal, and now the older foal and the newer mare all in one go, and just chopped them all off. Yeah, I actually was lucky enough I've owned all 5 for quite a while, all 5 of the new ones. Anyway, and yeah, just seeing them all slowly going in weird orders, a bit weird, but maybe again, but the plaits and the rows, it all sort of just fitted in well, so I'm not sure. But Kathy has been going around for ages, so you can sort of see why she's gone, because you can't really do a lot, but it's a really nice mould. Same with Zoe, to be honest, she was nice. I really liked her too, to be honest. Anyway, now the Camargue, so they retired off Rosa, the mare, a couple years ago, I think. Last year, sorry. And now they've and I thought, oh, right, they might just redo the mare for the next year. Nope, they just decided to retire that off, so maybe it's an idea that went wrong or something. But anyway, so these 2 guys are now gone, Bailey and Ricky. So I'm not really sure what to think, because they're all new, because, of course, Champagne and Brandy, the retired Camargue, mare and foal, they retired those to bring out these guys, and sort of now retired these guys, but, so 2017 could be a year of many comebacks, I'm starting to think. Anyway, then Jasper here, the Frasian Stallion, they've basically redone him for a very similar mould to go with the newer mare. Still no foal, so the foal's just been retired for quite a while. Anyway, so that's Jasper, but he wasn't I know how many people liked him, so let's just hope the newer one lives up to it. Anyway, and finally, either Nick or Nathan, because my retired one's I think my retired one's Nick and this one's Nathan. But anyway, so yeah, him, really not sure, because I was lucky enough nearing the end of last year to get the Shire mare, so I felt the current Shire family was complete. and now they're just retiring off the foal. I sort of did a double take when I saw his name written down. I was a bit like, why have, like, when, I saw he wasn't on the website. I'm not really sure why they've done that, because it's a bit like, I'm not sure, but I'm really not sure what to think of half of these. I'm sorry, this video's now going on for a long time, I apologise, but I just think it's a bit weird how they do just retire one off. Like, I mean, a few years ago they would just retire off a whole family and redo a whole family or something like that. But anyway, so these guys are all leaving the barn this year, and that sort of brings me on to my next topic, which is later this year I will be filming a series which will get these, like, which will let you know a lot more about my horses, like personalities and stuff, and get these guys out of the barn and onto my shelves, which was now quite a big task. So that'll be interesting. And it's also getting these guys onto the shelves, which have been retired for years. But this is now how sparse my barn is. There's no one in there, no one in there. There's, of course, the Florrie, the mini Shetlands behind here. Then Sid and Flo and Patch are here. Then Lola, the Fraser and mare's back there. Then there's Jane and no one's in there. Jane and Charlotte in there. The Lipsana Merrifold, no one in there. And then this is just the sparseness of the paddock now. So there's Amy back there, the tracker mare. Vegemite, the Knabstrapper mare. Maya, the Shire mare. Juliet and Samuel, the Hanoverian Merrifold. Sugar, the Knabstrapper foal. Abby, the Shetland foal. Lola, no, yes, no. Eve, the Arabian mare. And Kira, the Reuben foal. Tristan, the retired one, the retired Arabian gelding, which shouldn't be in here, but I need to get him gone out of the barn. Robbie, the thoroughbred, retired, and he should be gone too. Then there's Basil, the mini rearing Shetland stallion, so there's still got one rearing anyway, and then there's Oscar Mosher gelding. So that was a very quick overview of the barn, which is just sort of put into perspective how small my barn will now look at the end of this year, after these guys have gone and this barn has gone. So that was my sort of conclusion about episodes this year. That I'll be filming some, and then maybe to start 2017, I'll have the barn. I'll still have the barn, but I probably won't film episodes. I'll probably just, if I get a new model, I'll do a haul, and then sort of there might be little sketches, but it won't be a series as such, as a lot of those people are retiring. And as you can tell, I don't own many of the current ones. 3 of these have actually, like, as you if you watch my haul, were bought for me by a friend, and I think pretty much my only purchases last year were the 2 Knabstrappers and the Shire mare, the two mini Shetlands. I'm pretty sure. Might be a bit wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what I bought last year. So I'm not stopping the hobby. I really appreciate all these horses, and there won't be many more haul videos from me unless they're surprise ones, because I'm going to treat myself to some in the summer of this year, which does sound a long way off, but that's my treat to myself, and I'll be sharing that with you. I hope to upload at least twice a month these coming months, because it's my last year of school, so it'll get a lot more hectic. But I hope to just say something. They won't be as long as this. They will definitely not be as long as this. But I just thought I'd do this video to sort of show you guys how many have retired, and sort of show how that will impact my barn. But yeah, so you're going to look forward to a nice empty barn, to be honest, from me for a good couple months, which will probably be quite nice for barn tours, because I won't be talking for as long. So yeah, that's that. I hope to see you guys soon, and please feel free to leave a comment on what you think about these horses, and the retiring predictions, because it's quite shocking. All 17, I think there's 17 or 18 of them. I think there's 17, including the Icelandic foal. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye, guys.